So, man. Oh man. I know. And guess what? I'm going to fix this shit as soon as possible. Yeah. Then I said, I'm fixing this as soon as much possible as I can. And I know some fucking bullshit. Like, gee, I was in the middle of, but they suddenly some fucking connections and stuff, but don't worry about that. We can continue with that, and I will be fixing it. Something happens. Start again.
They want you to nuts. You got people like, oh man. You know what makes lefties nuts? You got people like Anna Kasparian, you got all of these people on CNN and MSNBC, and they're spending $75,000 a year to have Leroy Jenkins do their hair and makeup, and then some dipshit in his toy room jumps on the YouTubes and explodes the narrative. That's right, my friends, direct hit. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez taking one in her pooper friends, and she's super duper upset. Super duper upset. She wants the internet home monitors to come favor everybody. We're already off to a crazy start. Okay, but here you go. The other day, you had Jen Psaki out there, and she was running around telling everybody, I don't want to disappoint all of the conservative Twitters out there, so I will circle back. I know how much they like that. Yeah. We all up in your brain. We inside your brain, and we fucking your mess up. You guys are all upset with how effective we are at this information game, and you got, conservative Twitter, stand down. Conservative Twitter, Well, as great as that one was, we got another target destroyed today. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She has been just taken to the woodshed lately because this dumb bitch's entire narrative about almost being super duper murderalized at the Capitol Hill building on January 6th completely fell apart. The video that I did this morning, every other comment was, yo, bro, she wasn't even there. Yo, bro, she was a block away at some other. She wasn't even at the Capitol Hill building, despite the fact for a month now, she's been telling everybody, for super duper serial, I almost died. Well, you guys got that trending on Twitter today. Hashtag Alexandria Ocasio-Smollett was trending today. 14,000 maybe retweets when we were doing our live stream. This chick is now breaking down, and she is running. She needs some cover, boys. She is out there. She's texting Dorsey. I saw this fantastic meme. Jack Dorsey's like, don't worry, Ocasio-Cortez. I'll super duper get right on this after I get done with my kombucha enema. You guys are the fucking meme cannons over there. Kombucha enema. You know they do this too. Over there in soy Silicon Valley. They stick all types of things up their buttholes over there. But anyway, this chick, she has just put out a press release. Let's just jump over here real fast. Take a look at this. This is Jack Posobiec. Breaking. AOC just emailed her followers to mass report everyone who tweeted hashtag Alexandria Ocasio-Smollett today, so Twitter and Facebook will take down any posts criticizing her or fact-checking her. Ruh-roh. Is it racism's, boys? Is it racism's because we invoked the Jussie Smollett and you can't question his story unless you're racism's? Well, she's not appreciating this very much. Her team put this entire letter out today. They sent this through email, by the way. Hilarious. As we speak, like right-wing operative, with like millions of followers on social media are spreading flat-out lies and misleading information about Alexandria. But with your help, we can help force the Twitters and the Facebooks to take action on rules. Well, maybe you should start by enforcing your own rules, taking everything down, maybe putting up some fact checks that this bitch wasn't even at the Capitol Hill building when it was being terrorismed. No, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't interested in that. You just don't want people pointing out that this chick wasn't at the Capitol Hill building. She wasn't there. That's all these people are doing. That's what people are saying on Twitter. And these people are like, no, go mass flag everybody. If you find this hashtag on Twitter, we need you to report these tweets because they violate Twitter's safety standards or something like this. By pointing out, see, this is how this works. Because we're in a 21st century digital warfare going on, information war. telling the truth is a war crime, according to these leftards. So they want to mass flag everything, boys. If you point out that this chick just pulled a David Hogg and there I was at the Capitol Hill building while it was being attacked, they want you to be kicked off these platforms. Hey, conservative, right? She says right-wing operatives with millions of fighting, like literally about these attacks is that once the truth comes out, so few people get to hear it. Hundreds of thousands or potentially millions of people will have like already seen or shared the misleading tweets or fake news articles. Boom! Boys, right there, ladies and gentlemen of the MAGA movement, paragraph 2 of this email that this left cunt is sending out is admitting that we are dismantling their mainstream media complex of propaganda and mockingbird media, that we destroying them, that we outmaneuvering them, even with them banning everybody. They are banning motherfuckers on YouTube for the comment section. People who don't even make videos are catching bans on Twitter because they're pointing out that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a shitbag. It's not working. It's not working. Look at this. This chick is panicking. Her team is freaking out. The narrative is breaking. We are pushing a tsunami of factual information. She was with Katie Porter or some other chick a block away. We point this out on their own platforms, and they want to call the internet hall monitors and get us all in timeout. I love it. Like, we like super dupers need your help. Why is this blacked out? What is this? She sent this email out. Why are we blacking this out? This is from her own team. I want to know, what is this? Here's what you can do at this campaign of disinformation and others in the future. Number 1. Scan your social media to find posts with misleading information, especially those using the trending hashtag. Don't tweet any of the hashtags yourself because we don't want to spread them further. Are you explaining Twitter to your base? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is sending emails to her Twitter followers explaining to them how to use Twitter. This is a complete cock-up. Okay, interesting how that goes. Number 2.
Oh, yes, I'm gonna post for a little moment and gee. This motherfucker shit. I'm talking about Asseylum. Oh my yikes. I don't know about the idiot bitch. Just like, oh, don't you ever do that? Like, I don't want to get to this. They don't want to be here from Oh man, oh boy. Like, shit. I'm really laughing at this motherfucker. Like, just like, oh my yikes. Oh my yikes. Oh yeah. I don't know. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh man. I don't know what to do with this motherfucker shit. Here's the particular one. Basically, this so idiot. Literally going on YouTube. I don't want to get criticism. Oh my god. This is how this works. This is how they do. This is how they do their shits. And if I'm gonna go to Twitter, here's a swing off here. Chris Kai, watch this video. Okay. Wait, can we? Yeah, what's this? Oh man. See, that's how you create that's how you create united non-compliance chief. Oh, something like he says this like Pentagon is going to purge Trump supporting service members. Weird. Didn't you just tell everyone by Joe Biden got 90% of the military mail-in ballots? Everyone sees the still keep me heading. Nah, I don't know. You might never know, eh? Oh boy. Oh man, nowhere near yeah. Yeah, this bitch. Yeah, even Kamala. This is what she said. Let me put out here for you. Kamala Harris fires back at President Trump and other Republicans who mockingly mispronounce her name. Kamala Harris criticized President Trump and other Republicans figures who have previously mocking mispronouncing her name. It's about respect and it's about respect for all that comes with a name. Harris don't people magazine it. Oh my yikes. But she's okay with the media mispronouncing her name. And she's totally okay with it. She's totally okay with it for sure. It's pretty much. Well, as you can see in my tweet, irony. Irony, like, I don't know. Maybe not, maybe so. And also, guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook also. Don't worry about that. These little soy idiot cocksuckers. Oh boy. Free! Oh my yikes. We're all essential, don't forget that, yeah. But, anyways, I'm gonna go back to Salty.
Identify any posts that are threatening or harassing and use the built-in report features to flag them for moderators. Facebook and Twitter both have built-in tools for reporting posts and tweets that break their rules. What's breaking their rules? See, when you hear this from our side, you're sitting there going, well, ain't nobody threatening her. They're just pointing out what happened. There's no threats here. It's because you're not an idiot. It's because you're not a victimhood mentality prick with a smooth brain. Everything's threatening to these cocksuckers on the left. So they're like, oh no! They're laughing at her. Laughing's like super duper racism. Only like white people laugh these days. Oh, how could you be laughing during Black History Month when black people are being killed? Idiots were just pointing out that this chick's narrative is bullshit and it's spreading all over the place. Actual information is pouring out onto the interwebs. I've seen tweets, I've seen YouTube videos, a shit ton of YouTube videos. Everybody pointing out that this chick is a bullshit artist. And so, this is why they're sending this out. Let's go back to this. The sad thing is that a lot of damage has already been done. People have already been misled and radicalized. Radicalized! Okay, now you're terrorists. If you found out that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a shitbag liar, then you're radicalized terrorisms. They believe the lies to point out where they're all over into violence. This is exactly what led to thousands of enraged rioters storming the Capitol building on January 6th. Rioters? Did you say rioters? That's racism. Anyway, they're going to set the record straight. They're going to fix these falsehoods. But this is fascinating. This is an admission from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the queen of Twitter, if you will. This chick who entire movement, ain't nobody in her district like this chick. This chick has destroyed her own district, torched 25,000 jobs. Nobody likes her. She's got a Twitter following because there's a bunch of angry feminist chicks with daddy issues on Twitter, so they'll follow any of these idiots, and they're sitting there going, oh my god, I can't believe they're lying about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Their lines about her can't stoke violence, and it's super duper threatening. Really? This dumb bitch has been telling everybody that Trump supporters are Nazis, Trump supporters are white supremacists, that ICE detention facilities are fucking concentration camps killing marginalized brown Mexican children or something like this. She went to one of these detention camps and fake cried during a photo op. She was crying she was looking at an empty fucking parking lot and they were snapping all this just her rhetoric of calling them concentration camps got ICE facilities shot up. In Tacoma, some lunatic tried to blow up a propane tank outside. He shot up the fucking building and tried to run his truck or something into a propane tank. This chick is a problem. Everything in this is projecting to us that we beat the fuck out of these people at their own game. They push Mockingbird mass propaganda, actual information, disinfected for that propaganda, and now they panicking, and now she's trying to whip up her followers over here to go fight the radicalization of the right and report all of these tweets. It ain't gonna work, bitch. Now we're gonna make videos about this. So keep the pressure on, my friends. Keep at this. This is Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals. We use it against them, boys. Mockery is an effective weapon. We taking down the press secretary. We coming after this donkey bitch out there, and we coming for the rest of you idiots on the left-hand side because we're going to make America great again. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching the video. Support chat. You want to be kept up to date on Alexandria Ocasio-Smollett over here. Hit that subscribe button and make way because the salt must flow.
Oh boy. My name is Robin Hunter. This little silly idiot here, even from the beginning, she's spouting lies all over. Like, oh my yikes. And I don't even know what to say here. Not actually. In the spot, but I do. It's actually just like, these motherfuckers. Oh boy. Let's go to Rebellions. Oh boy. Oh man. Lot of things. Basically, a lot of things. Yeah, take a look at this video. Struno. That soy asshole. The concentration camps.
Speaker, to the Premier, where will these camps be built? How many people will be detained? And for what reasons? For what reasons can people be kept in these isolation camps? And I'd like to have the Premier assure the people of
Member, take a seat.
That unfortunately there is a tremendous amount of noise and harmful misinformation about on the internet. I was chatting with a group of students the other day, and a young woman asked me about COVID internment camps, and I had to explain that as we consume increasing amounts and various sources of information online and around us, we need to continue to be attentive to source, need to continue to be attentive to comparing various reports and looking for trusted sources like Dr. Tam, like regional public health authorities to tell the truth. We will be introducing mandatory PCR testing at the airport for people returning to Canada. Travelers will then have to wait for up to 3 days at an approved hotel for their test results at their own expense, which is expected to be more than $2,000. Those with negative test results will then be able to quarantine at home under significantly increased surveillance and enforcement. Those with positive tests will be immediately required to quarantine in designated government facilities to make sure they're not carrying variants of potential concern.
See, like, it even went to the point that it's no longer a laughing point. And all I can say to you is particularly in the particular thing, uh, yes, it's not a conspiracy, and don't even watch global or this is the they don't watch MSM, like they're all propaganda machine BS. CTV, Global, CDTV, CTV, CP24, they're all propagandas. And even with you as those fake news also, let's not only the thing that fake news here in Canada. Huffington Post Canada, of course, and National Post, yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah, there's also CBC. I already told you about CBC. So CBC, Global, CDTV, CB24, yep, CTV, CBC, CDTV, Global, CP24, Global, CDTV, CBC, CTV, National Post, like Huffington Post, and in US fake news is CNN, MSNBC, New York, Toilet Paper Times, Washington Post, ABC, CBS, Huffington US, yep, Huffington Post, US version of Huffington Post. Oh man.
Anonymously. And so, of course, the liberals' entire political spectrum agrees we're going to ban this group in the same list as Al Qaeda. In fact, today they added also more Al Qaeda affiliates, ISIS affiliates, and then in the middle of that, the Proud Boys. And some of our viewers might be saying, "What's the Proud Boys? Did they attack 9/11 on 9/11?
Yeah.
Was that the Millennium Bomber trying to blow up LAX? Was that the Via Rail? Was that the guy who shot his way into Parliament, killed Corporal Nathan Cirillo at the War Memorial and shot his way in? What's that all about?"
Yeah.
No, Proud Boys.
Hold on, guys. Bad connections here. Yeah, I'm getting some really bad connections here. Spore. Shit. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna check on it. Hold on. Shit. This is so confusing, but I'm gonna continue with it.
Is an invention of our former comedian commentator Gavin McInnes. It's sort of a rambunctious fraternity. And it was never incorporated that I knew of, and it was never, like the Boy Scouts, you can't just say, I'm a Boy Scout. It's like a franchise, and there's a book, and you have to follow the rules, and they can kick you out, so it's controlled. The Proud Boys were never like that. So you had different people saying, I'm a Proud Boy, I'm a Proud Boy. Gavin was sort of the Boston
That's why I
Proud
do
Boys.
my stuff.
But my point is, it's, I don't know what information was used for calling it a terrorist group. As far as I know, it hasn't had any activities in Canada other than some Proud Boys meeting up for drinks or something. There was at one time when 5 members of the Canadian Armed Forces, including an Aboriginal fella, a gay fella, like a real diverse group of guys, went to counter-protest in support of Sir John A. Macdonald or something in Halifax.
I remember that, out east, yeah.
And there was no violence. There was just a political protest from a mix of people saying, no, don't tear down. I think maybe it was a statue of someone else, but it was a statue that they wanted to knock down. So I think that's the only time the Proud Boys have actually ever done anything in Canada. And I remember a local Indian chief or Aboriginal leader saying, they didn't do anything wrong. Don't kick them out of the army. Just it wasn't a big deal. This was a local Aboriginal leader who said this. So I think what this is two things. I think it's Trudeau trying to cotton onto the capitals of a month ago and trying to Canadianize that. He's trying to impress his friends Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Look, I'm banning them too. I'm so much more woke than you. But much more dangerously, he's trying to criminalize what was really a political fraternity. I'm not disputing that they had street battles in New York on one occasion at least. And there may have been individual Proud Boys who were in Capitol Hill. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's an incorporated entity. It's just anyone who sort of says, yeah, I'm one of them. But to call something, put it on the official terrorist list in Canada is an extremely serious step. Because to say something's a terrorist group is to say, no, they're not just rowdy fraternity boys. They're not just drunk guys who like to hang out and shoot the breeze. They are worse than Hell's Angels, worse than the Mafia, neither of which are on the terrorist list. They are on par with ISIS and Al-Qaeda. And so the full force of the law and the military and our spying and intelligence agencies and freezing and seizing bank accounts and special prosecutions for giving any sort of support to these groups, financial, but moral support, recruiting support, all the tools you would use to stop a terrorist from organizing, traveling, recruiting, flying, funding, having a flag, all those tools that we made after 9/11 to catch mass murderers and terrorists can now legally be deployed against this dopey fraternity club entity just because Justin Trudeau likes to censor anything on the right. Not a single MP said, you know what? I'm all with denouncing the cause du jour, but to actually put this on the terrorist list, but not put real terrorist groups like Iran's terrorist group, I think we are in a bizarre world. And I'm not a Proud Boy. I know Gavin McInnes, the founder of it, and he renounced it and got into some trouble because some of his followers fought with Antifa on the street. And I don't like fighting either way. But to turn that into a terrorist group, that is a danger because of what they can do to those folks. And I think it's opening the door to criminalizing any conservative opposition to the liberals at all. That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.
Boom! Well, I already told you. Like, Trudeau will do that. See? Told you. I'm not even kidding here. How about we go next for Holiday and we will go and we will pause with it and continue with it. Don't worry. Just like another time.
Now, as failed negotiator John Kerry continues to deliver what is a cruel and crushing job-killing message to American oil, gas, energy workers, Kerry wants everyone to know that despite all the major economic sacrifices you have to make to deliver on his green energy fantasies and his stupid Paris Accord agreement that China and India, they're developing nations, we pay all the money and we meet all the rigid standards, but not them. Under no circumstances, though, can he give up his private jet. He says he has no choice but to fly in his beautiful private jet, I think, to Iceland.
On that issue, pollution, I understand that you came here with a private jet. Is that an environmental way to travel?
If you offset your carbon, it's the only choice for somebody like me who is traveling the world to win this battle.
I'm doing it for the world. I'm sucking it up all for the world. So according to John Kerry, you, American families, we the little people, well, you're going to have your lives destroyed because of Biden and Kerry and AOC's extremist climate fantasies and American oil, gas, energy workers, you know, that have career jobs that pay six figures, that let them put money away, buy a nice house, new truck, whatever car, whatever they want, live in nice neighborhoods. You're going to lose all that. He is under no such obligation to give up his cushy private plane. It's not for practical for someone like me. Oh, because he's saving the world. What arrogance, what condescension, and are you totally cut off? Are you missing the switch of what life is like for the people that do really make the country great every day, that work hard, play by the rules, obey the laws, pay their taxes, raise their kids, and do pretty much all the hard work and living in the country? Couldn't be more obvious. You might lose your job, but he gets to keep his pollution-emitting private plane no matter what. And of course, it's not the first time we caught a Learjet liberal in an act of blatant hypocrisy. Yeah, that's Al Gore back in 2007, getting off his Gulfstream that seats, 12, 14 people, only 2 people on the plane at San Francisco Airport. At the same time, he was making dire predictions about the end of the planet and then jumping into a chauffeur-driven limousine. Here for reaction, this could be priceless. Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Sir, welcome back. It's been a while. Senator, your take.
Well, Sean, I try to see grace everywhere I can, so while I'm going to say this firmly, I want to say it gently. I think the American people are so tired of being lectured by the managerial elite. The entrenched politicians, the media, the academics, the corporate phonies, the tuna tartar crowd who live in the expensive condos with the high ceilings and the important art on the wall, who think they're better than the American people, who think they're smarter and more virtuous than the American people, and who think they are special and that the rules don't apply to them.
Yeah.
I remember the late Marilyn Monroe said one time, she said, if you're going to be two-faced, at least make sure one of them is pretty. And George Burns, a famous comedian years ago, used to say, the key to success is sincerity. Fake that and you've got it made. I'm not saying that Secretary Kerry isn't sincere, and I'm not saying he doesn't care about the environment. I think he does. But you got to walk the walk, man. Respect has to be earned. It's not a participation trophy.
That we, the taxpayer, pay for, the people of Louisiana pay for. You're talking about walking the walk. Oh, if they're going to ram this climate change nonsense, a new Green Deal down our throat, why don't we ground the whole fleet? Maybe we don't want to sell them, someone else will use them. Maybe we can just, recycle the parts.
Well, I think there are a lot of private planes in the various agencies. I can tell you, for the reason that we just talked about, when I fly back and forth to my home, to my state, I always fly commercial, and I always ride in coach for that reason, because people see you and judge you by your actions. I don't mean to wax too philosophical here, but the famous existential philosopher Sartre used to say, to be is to act. That all we are is the sum of our actions. And what you do is what you believe, and everything else is just conversation. So you do, Sean, have to lead by example. And I
don't
think
buy the premise, though, Senator. I'm not believing we actually have a net reduction in CO2 without the Paris Accords. I see China's emitting more of these gases than anybody. Same with India. And we're bearing the brunt and the burden of the entire world? I'm not buying that.
Well, here's the irony of all of this. The three largest emitters in the world of CO2 are China, number one, the United States, number two, and India, number three. And only one of those three countries has actually reduced over the past decade its greenhouse emissions, and that's the United States of America. I think most Americans believe in an all-of-the-above energy policy. Oil, gas, wind, solar, nuclear, hydrogen, geothermal. But they're also commonsensical enough, Sean, to know the greatest economy in all of human history without oil and gas. And I think that
hypocrisy, the hypocrisy, irony, they saying, climate change, like, but someone like you, John Kerry, going on your private jet, while telling everybody to think about climate change and saying with algorithm, bunch of hypocrites. Like, for example, John Tory, and he's saying, don't travel, save lives. But guess what? He traveled, he went to his luxurious house in Florida. They simply made Ron Phillips, we must not go to, blah, 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 blah. But what he did, he jet out, his mate and jet out to Caribbean. What else? Yes, we have downwards back in the Easter and summer, saying he said not to go out there. don't go, blah, 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 but he went to his cottage, and, yeah, but in the summer, he went to wedding, like, he attended the wedding. What the fuck? Like, he just kind of saying that, oh, I'm too important, those rules don't apply to me. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, uh, no. It has, like, it should be applied to you, like, you don't get, like, special treatment. Like, why the double standards? Like, oh my yikes, eh? And I want to show you that, like, see, like, spawn CD news, but I'm gonna let it go. Like, I usually watch Rebel News, but I don't watch it these guys anymore. See, like, I don't know, not thank you. Like, he's like this. See, like, the first headline here, under fire for attending wedding was police to cut an unprohibited parties. Like, wow. Oh my yikes, eh? See, see that? That. Uh-huh. He's a freaking hypocrite. Like, it's one law for me and one law for thee. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. Me? I'm totally lost for words. And here's another one. Let's go to no, Rebel News.